Hello, this is Solomon. I'm here to explain you about RIP version 1 and 2. So this is a Cisco packet tracer. So first let me fill the details of mine. Okay, okay. Now let us install few PCs. So we have installed few PCs, namely PC0, PC1 and PC2. So now let us have few routers. So let us have PT routers here. Okay, 3 PT routers. Let us keep it like this. So like this. Okay, like this. Let us arrange as far as possible. So this is the PCs, and let us have few switches for that correspondingly. So PT switch, so one more PT switch here and one more PT switch here. So now let us join this all with the copper straight through, fast ether and fast ether 0/0, and now 0/0. Okay, I'm connecting it in the wrong way, so I need to change this connection. Okay, so let us connect this with fast ether. The same way, let us connect the PC, another PC also. So let us connect these things. Now let us configure the PCs from the beginning. So for that we'll go into desktop IP configuration. So we have IP configuration here. Let us do the IP configuration as 192.168.10.2. so the subnet mask is it's given, and default gateway is 192.168.10.1. okay, now let's give this as details as new mask as 192.168.10.2, and we'll give gateway as 192.168.10.1. and similarly we will give it here as 20.2 and 20.1, and here we'll give it as 30.2 and 30.1. Now we have configured this PC, and similar way we'll configure this PC also. Okay, desktop IP configuration, we have 192.168.20.2, and here the same thing but 1. Okay, PC is being configured. Now let us configure this IP address as 30.2 and 30.1. Okay, now we have successfully configured this PCs. Now let us configure this routers. For that we need to go to CL and okay, CL will give it as no here, and we'll get router. So now let us enable the routing table. Okay, for that en, so config t, config the terminal. So now we can configure the terminal. I don't know how to increase this. Okay, now let us configure this terminal. For that we have, if you can see here, we have fa0/0 for this PC. So let me add this fa, okay, int fa0/0 and IP address, let me give it as 192.168.10.1 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. okay, now let us give no shutdown. So let us exit. Now let us configure in the similar way all the routers. Okay, meanwhile let us connect this with fast ether series 3 and fast ether series, and in the similar way we have configured this with serial 2 and serial 2. So this is SE2/0 and this is also SE, okay, this is SE3/0. okay, so if we see this, this is connected with fast ether 0/0 and serial of 2/0 3/0. okay, let me reconfirm this with serial 3/0 to 3/0 and here 2/0 to 2/0. okay, now let us configure this. Actually this both routing table will be down. Okay, now this is up for now, and we will configure this. No, enable configure terminal, configure the terminal. Okay, now we will configure the terminal as int fa 0/0 IP address as 192.168.20.1 and 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Exit. Okay, now let us configure this router. No, enable. Okay. config int. Okay, for this we need to check this. So for what it is connected, or let us check fast ether 1/0 0/0. Yeah, so now let us configure this. Yeah, so in fa 0/0, that is IP address as 192.168.30.1 and 255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. So the state is up here. Exit and exit. Now as we know this configuration, let us check show. Okay, show IP route. So this know only one network, that is 30.0. Now we need to join this with another networks. Okay, this fast ether 2, this series 3. Now let me join with 192.168.40.0 60.0 and 50.0. Now we have this another networks to join these two routers. So now we will configure this to know this router. For that we need to configure this as config. Okay, enable. Okay, config t. Yeah, now we know the configuration, so we need to configure this router with this network. So for that we have int subnet mask as 3/0. For that we have IP address as 192.168.40.0. okay, yeah. IP route, IP address as 192.168.40.0 and 255.255.255.0. dot 0 is the subnet mask, and now it is been configured. Now we'll give it as no shutdown and exit. Now show IP route. Okay, this is still down because only one router know the configuration of this network, that is 40.0. Now we need to add for in the same way to this also, that is configure the terminal, that is IP int se3/0. So that is IP address as 192.168.40.0 255.255.255.0 will be the subnet mask, and okay, bad mask by 24 address is 168.40.0. for the address of 45.0. okay, 192.168. okay, let us configure again. Try to configure IP address as 2.168.40.0 and 255.255.255.0 will be the subnet mask. Bad mask /24 for address. Okay. For this, it has been successful. 20.0. Okay. Okay, no shutdown. Now status is up. You can see here the status is up. So these two knows the addresses to follow from each other. Like, yeah, now you can see these two routers know the address of this, so they can transfer the mails and messages. So for that, now in the similar way we need to configure these two also. Okay, so let us configure this router 2. So for router 2 we need to configure this is SC3/0 2/0. Now let us connect these two, so 2/0 and 2/0. so first let us give config terminal int of se 2/0. okay, now let us configure this as IP address as 192.168. we have an address of 60. okay, dot 60.0 and 255.255.255.0 is a subnet mask. So now no shutdown, exit and exit. Now in the same way let us do it for the router 1. Config t enable config t int of se 2/0 that is IP address of 192.168.60.0 and 255.255.255.0 is the subnet mask address. Now no shutdown, and still this is down, so 60.0. let us check. Okay, so we have configured somewhere wrong, so this is still down because we configured 192.168.60.0 and 255.255. okay, this is router 2. Let me open router 1. So here 192.168.60.0, 255.255 is bad. Still it is down. So exit. So let me connect this one with config t int of se3/0 3/0 IP address of 192.168.50.0 155 sorry 255.255.255.0 no sh exit. Okay, this is getting configured. So now let me do it here, like config t int se2/0 IP address of 92.168.50.0 255.255.0 and no shutdown. Exit. Let us check this whether they have configured. So now as you can see here, the state is up. I have did nothing, but I have reconfigured in the same way. So int se2/0 192.168.60.1. okay, here I have done 198.40.2 and I have not configured this here. Okay, I have just configured it here. As you can see, I have configured the router here, so now it is connected successfully. So if we go here, IP route is serial 2/0 is connected with 192.168.50.2 and here serial that is connected with serial 2 is connected with 192.60.1, here 60.2. now let us configure this again. Okay, config t int of se3/0, that is IP address of 192.168.50. okay, let us keep some different number. Okay, 350.3 and 255.255.255.0 will give no shutdown, exit. Now this was the router 2 and we'll have the that was the router 1. Okay, let me check this whether this is gone. 50.3, that is serial 2. Now router 2, let us configure it. Okay, config t int se2/0 IP address of 192.168.50.4 255.255.255.0 no shutdown, exit. I don't know whether this is not happening. Okay, let me remove this connection first and okay, let me give the reconnection. This is fast ether 2/0, this is fast ether 3/0. okay, yeah, that was a mistake I was doing here. SE 3/0 and SE 2/0. okay, now let us configure this back. Okay, I did a mistake here, it was 1. okay, now I need to configure here SE 2/0, right? okay, config t int se2/0, that is IP route IP address as 192.168.50.1 and 255.255.255.0. okay, now no shutdown is overlapping with series 3. okay, now let us give it as IP address as 192.168.50.5 255.255.255.0 series 3. okay, let me change the configuration of that. Exit int of se3/0 IP address as 192.168.40.1 or 40.0 255.255.255.0. okay, now no shutdown, exit. Now int se3 2/0, let me get it back. It's not 40, it's 50. Let me get as 1. Let us check this. It's overlapping series 2. Exit. I don't know why it's overlapping. Series 3 is 50. Okay, 50.3. SE3 exit. Config t int SE3/0 yeah, now it changed to you can see series 3 has been changed to 40.1. now let us configure this with okay config t p int of SE2/0, that is IP address of 2.168. So the video got paused, I don't know when, but I just now saw it. So I have explained everything here. So how I have connected all these things. So it was very simple. So after that, when I connected here, so you can see here this router knows the values of this. Okay, so this router knows the values of 10.0, 10.2, 40.0 and 60.0. so now we need to add RIP for this router. So that is nothing but when we add RIP for this router, it's simply router RIP. Now it's in configuration of router. So I have shown in the previously when I was explaining, the video was paused. So you can see here 3 networks is known by router 0. So these 3 networks need to be added for this router. So now let me configure this as network network 192.168.10.0. okay, now that is 40.0. next 60.0. this is known by these networks is known by router 0 and no shutdown. So we can exit. So now show okay show IP route. So the gateway, okay, config t router RIP network 22.168.10. okay 1 okay, let us check whether this is added or not. Show IP route. Meanwhile, let us configure this. Let me try with this. Show config t router RIP. So network 192.168.20.0 2050.0 and 40.0. No shutdown, exit. Now you can see here two routers been added, that is 40.0 and 40.0 here, sorry 10.0 and 60.0 has been added here. So 10.0, that is this router, and 60.0 for this router it is been added. So in the same way let us do for this also. Config T router RIP. Okay, network 192.168.30.0. next it knows 60.0 and 50.0. now no shutdown. Okay, exit, show IP route. You can see here 3 connections has been added successfully. Now let us see this. Okay, show route. Here also 3 connections has been successfully added. Now let us try with this. Show route. Now here also 3 connections has been successfully added. Now this is about RIP1. So RIP1, all the things has been successfully added, all the networks has been added to the routers. Now if I send a packet from here, so let us keep it here, and let me send a packet from here PC0 to PC1. So in process failed. So let us see in the simulator whether it's reaching or not. So configure, it went there, in process it sent back. So it is successful here. So in the real time it's getting failed few times. In the simulator this is the problem what we face. So in the simulator it is sending a message successfully. So now let me send a packet from here to, let me send it to here. Okay, let us check it. Packet is getting sent and in process, so it is getting failed. So let us reattempt it. Okay, first let us remove this, take a packet from here, add it here and send it here. So send a mail, it's getting sent and it is successful. So you can see here the packet has been sent successfully. So this is about how we configure the RIP version 1. So if you wanna do RIP version 2, okay, let us stop this here. Okay, come back, close the simulator. So now here itself config T router RIP. Now we'll add a statement called version 2. So version 2, if we had this is router 0 is taking version 2 RIP. So now we need to add in the same way all the networks. So network 10.0, okay, network 40.0 and network 60.0, and exit. So show IP route. You can see here it will be using version 2. So let me do it for all the routers. Okay, show config t I router RIP version 2 and network 40.0, 20.0 and 50.0 and exit. So config t router RIP version, okay, version 2. So this knows the 60, 30 and 50. Okay, so exit. Now these routers are configured with RIP version 2. So let us send a packet from here to here, and let us check it in simulation mode. So it is successful. So RIP version 2 is also getting successful. So now let us send a packet from here to here. So it is also successful. Now these are sending successfully messages. So this is about RIP version 2 and RIP version 1. I hope you understood. Thank you everyone.